Hello everybody, my name is T. I'm back with another interview. This time I'm with Articuno from Battlecry. We'll be talking about their week 1 match versus Gun and their upcoming week 2 match, as well as talking about the whole idea of track lists. Additionally, we're going to be talking about the dynamics between Battlecry 1 and Battlecry 2 as well, and talk a little bit about what Artie prefers in terms of regular tracks or CTs. Anyways, how are you doing, Artie?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, doing well. Let's
That's
jump right
good.
into it.
All right.
You guys played Gun, week 1, I
Yeah.
believe, and you.
Yeah, we did.
Uh, is it fair to say you guys smashed them?
More or less, yeah.
I mean, everyone did pretty well. I mean, besides
hmm
Hiriko's GP1, but like
Yeah.
everyone
Well,
did pretty well. Do you have any thoughts on like the match, the tracks that were picked in that match? Anything about them?
um, well, I sort of felt bad for Ruko because he'd always get either blued lap 3 or he'd get bumped off or
Oh no.
something. Yeah,
Oh
it was kind of
no.
unfortunate for him. He was getting killed lap 3. We sort of just ran most of the races,
Okay.
and tracklist was sort of in our favor. Looking at the tracks, there weren't really many of Gun's main tracks in like Crystal Dungeon or Festival Town, and we had a couple tracks like Thunder City and Canyon and GBA Rainbow Road 2. So
Hmm.
I felt like tracklist was on our side that week,
All right.
which helped us a lot. Oh, and Halogen, I forgot that was there as well.
Okay. Is there Was there any tracks that kind of stood out as weird in the week 1 tracks and the week 1 tracks you played?
Well, Halogen's a weird pick for most people. Not many people like it, considering how bumpy it is, and the ending
Mm-hmm.
section is very inconsistent, I'd say.
All right.
And then, well, Cotton Plant Forest isn't really picked that much, and it's an insanely big luck track.
Okay.
It's also a begging track where you sit at last boxes, so
Wow.
it's a gamble who gets shock, and race ends up going in favor of whichever team gets shock. I think they ended up outrunning us that race, and they got shock,
Mm-hmm.
and we can really uh, do too much on it. But I don't think we lost that race by too much.
Right.
Um,
Wasn't that the only race you guys won or something? Or you guys lost? I don't know.
I think we lost a couple of the races in GP3,
Okay.
but uh,
I know like the first few GPs were kind of top one. I think you guys didn't you guys top 4 9 on Cliff, if I'm
we
not
didn't
wrong.
play Cliff.
Or not Cliff. I'm thinking
We
of like
top four it on Canyon.
okay.
Remember that? And we got another top four.
I probably
Uh,
think of BC2 that
oh,
top 4.
and we got like top 3 5 on Halogen.
Okay, okay. I think I was thinking of BC2 that top 4 on Cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um oh, isn't Dawn Township a new track?
Yes, it is.
Uh what do you think about
And
that track?
it's also one lap, which
Okay.
is it's a short track. It's about a minute and a half,
Mm-hmm.
I think. It's also first set bagging box
All right.
with the waterfall as well, so you have to be going upstream the whole time. Yeah, so it's a
Do you prefer short tracks when racing, or do you prefer longer tracks?
well, I like there are a couple short tracks I like Unnamed Valley.
Hmm.
But there's also longer tracks like Halogen
All right.
that I'm a fan of, and Incendia is pretty good.
So it doesn't
But
really matter that much, to be honest, the length of the track.
it just depends on the track itself.
All right.
It's not really a short versus long, just whichever one
Mm-hmm.
play. Yeah.
So, anyways, going after your week 1 match. Oh, I guess do you want to talk about how like the team works? Like I see you have Spark bagging or trolling, I believe.
Yeah, Spart's our bagger. He's really the only one in our team that has suicide experience. Not okay, suicide bagging experience. My bad. Um, yeah. Silver also said he wanted to try a bit,
Okay.
but I don't think he's done much. He hasn't done many matches bagging, but he's practiced. I'm our main troller
All right.
when trolling comes.
Okay.
Yeah, Hikaru knows how to bag, but he explicitly said he didn't want to bag this season, which we were fine with.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Um,
Bagging kind of
yeah,
takes a
and
lot
then
out of you
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah, he said he was getting a bit bored of it and he wanted to run, which
Yeah.
is fair enough to him.
Mhm.
There's also a couple baggers in Battlecry Lunar, like Mask, Arcane, Psycho knows how to bag, and Ryan knows how to bag. And with the call up rule, if Spart isn't here, then we can just call one of those guys up, and
Mhm.
they said they'd bag for us,
I forgot about
which
the
is
call-up rule.
great.
Are you guys gonna use
Yeah.
anything else for the call-up rule? I know personally that I think XF Crossfire used the call-up rule for Kona this week.
Mm. Well, we're not. We don't have any specific plans with call ups, but anytime a call up's needed, we'll hopefully have one available from
Okay.
their team. As long as their team can get 5 without them.
Yeah.
I know Sirius said he wanted to play a match with Battlecry Solar, like at
Mhm.
least one. So we might try to get him in. But
Okay.
from our list of players, we have 8 or 9 active players, which is great. I don't think we'll end up needing to use the call up rule this season. We might end up using it once for a bagger if Spark can't play, and yeah, and the other team picks us bagging. But yeah,
Okay. So next week, I believe you guys are playing. What is it like? Whatever the flow team
ZJ,
is. Yeah.
yeah, ZJ's gambling hub.
Yeah. Whatever they're called. Um. So I noticed that this this track list this week actually has a lot of retros. I remember there's yeah, you gave me the
I
details.
think
Yeah.
half is
Yeah.
retro. I think there are 10 retros, and if you include the 3DS tracks.
Yeah. So I noted. I think I'm not sure if you said this before, but a lot of people don't really like retros. Uh,
Well, I don't want to generalize it and saying a lot of people don't like retros because there are a lot of great retro tracks that
mhm,
most people like picking.
okay.
Just from my experience, most people aren't always a fan of retro tracks or they just aren't played as much.
Hmm. Why do you
But
think?
there are still some great retro tracks.
Why do you think that it's not played a lot in higher level?
Well, I mean, I can't really say much about the higher levels like D1 because I haven't played in CTD1.
Okay.
But um, I guess the newer tracks are more gimmicky, so you need to know how to play on them to do well,
Hmm.
relative to retro tracks, which are more or less flat.
Yeah.
And considering most people have played the retro games or have been playing CTs for a while,
Hmm.
they're pretty easy to drive on relative to the newer tracks that not as many people know how to. But once you get to, I guess, higher level, as you say, um, most people most people know how. No, I won't say most people. Everyone knows how to play pretty much every track.
Hmm.
So it's all preference
I guess. Yeah.
for which track. And I mean, most people tend to pick tracks based on their spots, but more or less it's preference, I'd say, at least for me.
Okay. And I noticed that since I'm in BC chat, I noticed that you guys have actually a very interesting way to deal with the new tracks. Can you explain that? Or the track list?
Uh, oh, the track list. Oh,
Yeah.
well, track lists are sent out relatively between 3 and 4 p.m. on Sunday after your previous week's match.
Hmm.
Generally, what happens is later that evening, a bunch of us just play a FFA of all 20 tracks just for
Okay.
fun. Um, that's pretty much what we do right away, and then it people just either play track list wars against other teams
Hmm.
within their team. So like BC Lunar or BC Solar will get a uh, practice match against another team in either their division or a division above them,
Okay.
or we might mix some LUs together.
All right.
Uh, or people tend to just time trial on their own the track list.
What do you do personally? Do you do both, I believe?
Um, I do both, but I mainly time trial unless I'm needed to play a war. Then
Okay.
if we're looking to get 5, then yeah, I'll play a war. But generally, I like time trialing tracks that I'm not very comfortable on, just so that I can be like up to par with other players when it comes towards the time of the match.
And why not worldwide or like wars and stuff like that? Why do you prefer time trials? Is it just like to get more consistent lines?
I just feel like I'll benefit more by getting the general lines down. Watching the strats from world records may help me when I'm playing online.
Okay.
I'm not that big of a fan of CT world rides. I don't generally play them that much. I'd rather war with my team, but
Hmm.
if Battle Cry is not looking for a war, then I'll either play in CT Lounge or time trial the tracks on my spare time.
That's fair enough. Do you enjoy CT time trials a lot more in general?
Well, I like them a lot more than regular track time trials.
That's fair enough.
More diverse tracks,
Hmm.
and I don't know. I don't find regs as interesting as, or not interesting, but I don't want to use the word fun because I still enjoy them
Hmm.
with the people who I play with. But I I prefer time trialing custom tracks just because they're different.
Yeah. I know we touched on the bagging system for BC. BC would do or BC, both BC teams actually. But do you guys have
Yeah.
any system for running? Do you have like specific roles, or do you just like okay, all four people run, whatever happens, we'll just adapt to?
Yeah, it's all situational, but
Hmm.
generally if we're playing it like like this week against ZJs, or as most people call them, Flow. Um, they're a strong team.
Yep.
They're like I consider them the strongest team in our division. So sometimes we will have specific roles depending on their lineup and what who ends up playing for us.
All right.
But like generally if we want to, we play with 3 runners and then 1 Schlager, I guess.
Okay.
But normally it's dependent on spots where we
Hmm.
start,
Yep.
because someone who's starting in second won't generally always just go and start schlagging at the start.
Yeah.
But they try to get either if the other team's first outline first and get a breakaway or attempt for one, or just run with first and stay up there. But going into this week's match, I'll probably end up schlagging them as much as I can
All right.
just to get our team breaks, because um, I find our team is generally better with running, as we've been around a lot for CTs, and we're custom track teams. So
Is it the
we have.
same?
Pardon me?
Sorry, go on.
No. I was pretty much done.
Oh, okay. So how long has the specifically, I guess, Battlecry 1 have been around?
So Battlecry have been around since June of 2016. No, July of 2016.
Okay.
And so it started out with Spade and Mitch running the team, and we still have a couple people from Battlecry that stayed with us for the past 2 years, other than last season, which we ended up taking a break. But like
Hmm.
Spade, Mitch, myself, Poison, Silver from and Fruits from BC One or
Okay.
BC Solar have been around since the get go.
Hmm.
Yeah, so we've been around since 2016 of July.
And I noticed that a lot of the is it like a lot of the same players who play for BC1, or is it just different? Do you have different players in general that play for BC1 now?
Well, generally it goes to uh, like how, I mean, I guess how strong they are as a player now.
Mm-hmm.
So like most people, like I don't think anyone other than Stunky, that's in Battlecry Lunar, have been since the get go.
Okay.
So like there's a 5 or 6 of us that I mentioned that
Yeah.
are here from the get go. They've been playing CTs pretty much the longest from anyone in our team, so they're
Yeah.
generally the stronger player.
That's fair.
So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
understandable. So you
Hmm.
also play regs and for EXO, right?
Yes, I do.
And I guess a lot of people, I guess you're kind of, I don't know if you're like the only person. There's like some people who like say, oh, I'm like a CT main and I play regs off the side, or I'm a regs main and I play CTs off the side. Do you consider yourself one of those people, or do you consider yourself like, oh, I play both of them, and why do you prefer one or the other, or why do you like both?
I play both, I'd say equally. Lately I've been playing CTs more often, mainly because of the new track system,
Mm-hmm.
where people can't really, I guess, abuse their favorite track picks,
Yeah.
where they're limited to 20 tracks. So I generally play those more.
Mm-hmm.
I like playing both, mainly because of the people who I'm with. Like I've been with Battlecry since the get go. I've been with Explorers of Time since Lost in Time started.
Yep.
So it's mainly like I like playing with both. I like playing both because of the people who I'm playing with.
Mm-hmm.
But custom tracks are more, I guess, versatile compared to regs since there's so many of them.
Yep.
Uh, I don't really have a preference, but I like both. Yeah.
Right. Is there anything else you want to say about BC, about EXO, about CTs, about regs? Oh, do you think? Oh, I guess. Do you have any predictions for you versus ZZG's?
ZJ?
Yeah. Do you have any predictions for that
ZJ's
match?
Gambling Hub. Yeah. I feel like it's gonna be neck and neck towards the end. Um, Especially if both teams can pull their quote unquote strongest LU, and I use that very loosely here since I am more than happy to use any of the runners we have on our team.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like if Flo can pull out people like Life, Star, who's their other big one that I was thinking
Jam.
of? Jam, yes, thank you.
No
And
worries.
Insane or Nash or Aaron,
Mm-hmm.
and then their bagger, then I feel like it's going to be really close. I don't know who's going to win this one. It can go either way.
Okay.
I definitely want us to win,
Yeah, that's obvious. It's not like,
but
oh, I want my team to lose.
no, I want us to lose. Yeah, I don't really see it. I can't really see what the outcome's going to be going into the match, but we're going to go with a mindset of let's win as much as we can.
Also, just another thing, I just remember this question. Is there any like sort of crossover between the Battlecry, Lunar, and Solar, or is it mainly just like they're each team doing their own separate thing?
No, we play a lot together, I guess. I don't really want to say that. I, I don't really like saying we're two separate teams because we're both from Battlecry,
Okay.
even though we are technically two different teams in WL. I feel like we're a knit group.
Yep.
And like as a whole,
Mm-hmm.
because we mix lineups together. We mix lineups. Well, that's weird to say. We play together, I guess you would say.
Yep.
Regardless what team they're in for WL, we
Mm-hmm.
don't really care
Yeah.
if they play or not, unless we're looking for specific practice matches with our lineups. We do a lot of in clans because we actually get 10 to 12 people on at times,
Mhm.
especially like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights. Between like 9 and 1 a.m., we'll get 10 to 12 people play some FFAs or 2v2 in clans. Or like one time we had 9 people and we ended up just being like, yeah, let's just go to lounge. And it was 9 battle cry people in lounge. It was kind of funny.
Was there any teaming involved?
Oh no, I told them I'd kick them if they did.
Ooh, putting down the
Yeah.
authority right there.
Well,
Nameplate, by
no,
the
it's
way.
just Fruits, one of the moderators at that time. He waived off the no calling policy
Okay.
because yeah.
Yeah.
So we're like, sweet, and then he told me, yeah, just don't team with each other, and I said okay, and I told him I'd kick anyone if they did.
That's more of a joke, but yeah.
Yep.
Also, I noticed this a lot because you guys often call a lot, like just in general. I know.
Oh yeah, we'll randomly just go into call.
I know. Also, like in chat, like you guys. I think like when I'm gonna pick on Ryan a little bit, but when Ryan's like having problem with homework, I remember like I think it was like yesterday or something. Like Ryan had problems with like I don't know what was it like.
Yeah, he had problems with chemistry. So
Yeah, he had problems with what is it, sig figs, right? Or scientific
factor labeling.
Yeah, okay.
So
We call it
like
scientific
conversion
integration.
factors and all that.
Yeah, that's really funny because I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, everybody's like pretty chill with each other. I feel like it's actually a very closely knit group.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because we do homework together, and it's kind of it's not the typical thing you'd think of with a Mario Kart team.
Yeah. Is it similar in EXO? Because I remember something that like Sabby talked about. Like, oh, I remember like, especially Sabby was so excited like with that when I interviewed her. She was so excited about like showing it to like EXO members and stuff like that. And I saw a lot of support from EXO members in on that video especially. I think like Zane commented, Connor commented. There was a lot of people in general who commented. And I like she's like, oh, like we literally like the interview and stuff like that. I'm assuming it's the same for EXO, right?
Pardon. So what's your actual question? Sorry.
The social, I guess like EXO is also as like pretty social as well.
Yeah.
I
Wait.
this
So
whole
was that the
explanation.
question?
Yeah, it's like how does the social? I mean, compared to other teams, I
Like,
know even in other
how is
teams.
Battle Cry social compared to
No,
EXO,
no, no, no,
or
no, no, no. You got
or
that.
or, or are we talking about EXO here?
I'm just saying, this is. I had this whole thing about like how important it is to have with like how important it is to be social with your team because
Yeah.
both teams have been around for a while, but it's just
Yeah.
I blew it up. I effed it up, man.
That's okay.
Yeah, so like I just want to say like I know compared to like other teams, like I know some teams are like very business like very like oh hardcore oriented and whatnot, like Mario Kart
Okay.
hardcore and then nothing else besides
Yeah.
Mario Kart. But
Yeah.
like I don't really like that. Yeah, basically this question's sham. Never mind.
No. It's okay. It's okay.
No, it's over, man.
So pretty much like, okay,
Uh,
you're just gonna cut that out, aren't you?
no, we're not getting that out. We are going this
Okay.
100%. Because
Okay.
basically, I'm saying is like you you like this. Social environments are very important, or like very like it's nice to have a decline. Is what I'm saying. Is what I'm trying to get
Yes,
at.
it is very nice to have
Oh God, this is so
in
such a
a
dumb
team.
thing. Oh my God.
No, it's not dumb. You just
I
can word
mean,
it properly.
yeah. I wanted to do this whole explanation and like of what I wanted to say, but like I
Yeah,
got
you
lost.
started out with some homework stuff in EXO, and I was a bit confused there. Like, Savvy's never mentioned anything about
I
listening to
don't
homework.
know. I tried to transition it to EXO. It's like, oh, it's like you're like a tightly knit group like EXO.
Yeah. Yes, we are.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say? I don't know. I want to finish this interview as quickly as possible because it's
Okay.
so bad. Is there anything you want to say to like I don't know
Um.
EXO, Battlecry, whatever?
Hmm. Yeah. Ethan, I love you in EXO, and Zane, you're the biggest meme I've ever seen.
Anything you want to say to Battlecry?
Oh yeah, I meant Zane from Battle Cry.
Oh yeah, right.
No. Zane from EXO's chill.
Okay. Fair enough.
Zane, Mr. No Range, Mr. No Range 24, Mr. The Flash on CTs, Team at Flash on CTs. Yeah.
The man on CT. Or what is it? The man of Team Ad and the Flash on
Oh yeah, the
CTs.
man of Team at. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Football Player. I won't go
Freaking
any further
yeah,
with
this
that.
this interview is kind of derailed. Holy crap. Oh my
Yeah.
god. All right. Thanks, Artie. It's
Yep.
always fun to talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers.
All right. If you guys want to watch more interviews, just follow this, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Also follow me on Twitter at authority underscore. I will basically basically post when my interviews will go up. All right. Thank you.